How about? Okay.
What?
That's good.
Yeah.
So, where was your first job?
Huh?
Where was your first job?
Mhm.
No. Yeah, that's just very good.
Was this where the headquarters was, Curtis?
Yeah, this is where they.
Because it looks like there's Democrats everywhere. Is this
We
the
did that,
Democrat?
we did that to frighten you, Roger.
Okay.
There were Democrats everywhere in here, many times.
All right. Are you still renting the place? This place?
No, I mean, this will be done after
After this,
Yeah, like this is pretty much, I mean, everything's almost out of here. We just gotta clean it up, turn it over, and,
So was this your headquarters or Republican headquarters?
no, this is mine.
Oh,
I have my
okay.
own.
Yeah. Because I think Merrill has something down there in
Edinburgh
Yeah,
Road.
yeah.
Well, that was the building that Mclaughlin got during the 2016
Oh.
campaign, because the party didn't have a headquarters.
I remember that place. I was never there.
Yeah, that's
Out there.
Route 99, I think it was.
Yeah, it was just, too far.
Well, I got a lot of press coverage down there.
I've been there.
Yeah, were you there?
I've been there.
For 2020? Were you there for 2020?
Yeah, for the election. Is that what I'm?
Yeah, okay. Well, we're set, Brenton.
We're
There
set.
you go.
We're good, 100%? Whenever? Okay, great. Thank you. So good afternoon, thanks for coming. This administration, the change of this administration is going to require some care and diligent planning. So this is the reason for today's press conference, to discuss my transition team. This is going to be a team of 100% unpaid volunteers who are going to help me assess the workings of Erie County government and, where appropriate, make recommendations on any kind of changes. I just want everyone to know, those in county government and even those current directors, that I don't intend to have a complete change of the guard, as it were. We're going to make assessments on a case-by-case basis moving forward. During the campaign, I admire a lot of the work that's been done in a lot of the departments, with a lot of the department directors and the county employees. So this is really about making county government better and about getting the maximum return on the taxpayers' investments. I'm delighted to announce that a local attorney, Mr. Roger Richards, has agreed to chair my committee. And I'm sure you've heard Roger was a significant contributor to the campaign and was amazing support to help Erie County really move forward and to keep this race a local win. I think it's remarkable that someone who's given so much already is now able to contribute some more time and his knowledge to making this transition team a success. We have a diverse panel of experts who have agreed to donate their time and their insights to make our transition go smooth and allow us to hit the ground running come January of 2022. Each of these men and women come from a diverse background of folks that truly reflect who Erie County's population is, and they're going to offer their insights and their ideas and how to best renew our county government, work towards jobs, inclusion, equity, and address human services. This diverse panel of experts has agreed to donate their time and insights to make sure that the transition of our new administration is going to go smoothly and make the possible change in the guard while retaining what we have built as a county since the Home Rule Charter started in 1978. And at this time, I'm going to turn our press conference over to Attorney Roger Richards. Thank you.
Thanks, Brent. Thank you, Brent. In case any of you don't know, I'm Roger Richards. I've been involved in county government affairs since the mid-'70s. I've worked with Republicans, Democrats, and frankly, my goals have always been oriented to improve the economic conditions of our community. Most of my professional career has been representing banks in commercial loans and acting as solicitor to numerous state and local industrial development authorities as solicitor, and creating unique financing for startup companies and companies that can't get conventional financing from commercial banks. Another way, I guess, that the press will identify me is that my political action committee is a mega donor that's not from Milwaukee. So I'm happy to chair this committee made up of talented volunteers. I want to emphasize that no one's being compensated for their activity on these transition committee. And we will assess county government, hopefully from all angles, and then turn over our advice to the county executive-elect, and our job will be over at that time. I'd like to give you the list of the people that are going to be on the committee, have agreed to be on the committee, and also point out to you that this committee is not complete. We still are working on some very talented people that will round out the committee. Our first meeting will probably be in a couple weeks, and we'll make that announcement when that's going to happen. I also wanted to tell you that you may have met, if you're in the media, Melanie Brewer. She's an Erie businesswoman, and she will oversee the day-to-day operations of the panel, and she served on Brent's campaign during this last fall. The next person that's on committee is a name that's extremely well known. I'm known him since the 70s when I was on the Home Rule Study Panel Commission that ultimately changed our form of government from the 3-commissioner form of government, and that's Fiore Leone. He was on the first county council and remained there for almost 40 years in county government. He's a prominent Democrat, and he will be the vice chair of reviewing the county administration and operations. The next person is Bill Mclaughlin. He's a business manager for Laborers Union Local 603. He will serve as the vice chair for labor and worker issues. I think it's important to note that it's my understanding that the labor contracts are up this coming year, and it's important that the county executive is sensitive to the employees' needs and also to the taxpayers, and so it's helpful to have Bill on board. And the next individual that's very talented in urban affairs is John Persinger. He's the Chief Executive Officer of the Erie Downtown Development Corporation, and he will serve as Vice Chair for Urban Issues. Another individual that will help us is Dr. Paris Baker. He's a prominent scholar at Gannon University and an authority on social work, and will serve as Vice Chair in charge of Human Services. The next individual is Chuck Scalise. He's the Executive Director of the Edinburgh University Foundation, and he will serve as Vice Chairman for inclusion issues. Chuck is very well known, has been very active in neighborhood housing development, and we welcome him aboard. The next individual is Mary Schaaf. She's the former Erie County Controller, and she has agreed to serve as Vice Chair for Fiscal Policy. She's intimately familiar with every financial operation of the county government, and she will be very helpful. The next individual is David Mitchell, the outgoing mayor of Corey and the former Northwest Regional Director for the Office of the Governor. He will serve as Vice Chair for, let's see my notes here, for Workforce Development. Also, as we have worked with the community college, I've been involved in the community college effort for almost 12 years. It started with 3 county executives ago. I've always been a great believer in it, a strong supporter of it, and it's had many iterations. And for many years, you couldn't get the county executive to support it, but more importantly, you couldn't get the county council to support it. And fortunately, in the last few years, we've been able to bring forces together that where Fiore Leone, I guess I'd give the greatest credit to, for bringing the county council to support it, because that was always the roadblock to it. But the reason I mentioned that is that David Mitchell has been very helpful in the last couple of years, working through the regional college from basically headquartered in Warren, and the Erie one, which we have now. And so he's also on the board of the Erie Community College. He's been very helpful in briefing Brent through the campaign. The next individual is Phil English. He's a former county controller, that's important, and he was a seven-term congressman for Erie, and he will advise us on county and federal relationships. And that's really important because, as you know, we have a lot of stimulus money that's coming our way, and we have to know how to spend it wisely. The next individual is Carl Anderson. He's presently chairman of the county council, and he will serve as liaison with the county council, which is, if you'll recall, in our form of home rule charter, our council is like a legislature, almost similar to something in Washington. I was on the committee. There were only 3 home rule charters back in '78, and we mirrored this one to give the county council a lot of control over county government, particularly on finances. So Carl will be very helpful, particularly over the next 8 weeks, in hopefully developing a good relationship with county council. And then finally, or not finally, our general counsel for the committee is a partner with the Erie law firm of Mclaughlin, and he will provide counsel to the organization. He's very talented, and we look forward to him joining the team. And then finally, my capacity will be in economic development and relationships with our General Assembly delegation in Harrisburg. And my credentials are well known as far as economic development background. And that is the committee. As I indicated before, there will be additional appointments. We're still working on them. And it's all volunteer, it's not compensated, and we'll complete our report by January 4th. Thank you. I'm sure you got all that. So,
The news releases also.
oh, do you have one?
They should have.
Okay. All right. I had some surgery here, and this keeps falling off. Okay, any questions?
We're good.
All right, thank you.